Good afternoon. This session is about innovation and efficiency. So I'll try to be very efficient by proposing to my fellow board members to fire you all. Because the idea is that do we need chief financial officer at all? If we can replace workers with robots, if we can replace secretaries with software, why can't we replace CFOs with robotic agents? So we are seeing banking without bankers and soon finance without CFOs. And I'll be speaking about blockchain, smart contracts, and the future of financial management without you, gentlemen and ladies. Now, of course, we need you, maybe in a different role. Don't get it personal, it is just business. So I'll just look at you with a friendly approach, saying, you're my favorite turkey when celebrating Thanksgiving in finance and banking. And I know you would recommend vegetarian financial management, but I'm here to say that we may have other options today. And invite you to the lunch or to the dinner, whatever. It's going to be gala dinner tonight. Okay, you will be guests and not food, I understand. No, just to make this story a little bit more realistic. We are seeing banking being taken away from bankers. And most of the fundamental elements, factors of banking is now being translated into mathematics, into algorithm, into software, into information management, by the way. And mainly thanks to the sponsors of this initiative, and mainly thanks to the consultants, we are formalizing, standardizing, in search of efficiency, of course, most of the fundamental nexus, okay? If you need credit, you can get blockchains, financial smart contracts, financial marketplaces. If you have savings, you have excess cash, you have robotic advisory, financial megastores, behavioral profiling, both of your consumers and of your suppliers. So do we need banking? And if we don't need banking in terms of human services, why do we need human financial managers? Just to remind you that payment systems is already gone as an area in which humans have any role, okay? Humans still have a role in credit and in financial management. But let me anticipate an era in which this may change and may change very soon. First of all, because paying with money is the least efficient way to resolve a transaction, okay? Today, the most successful companies don't pay with money, they pay with data. Data is the new money. You pay with money at the last element of a financial chain. All the rest today is settled through data. This is very important because if money, real money, is only the last element of the financial chain, because all the rest is understanding of standardized formats, then data are the perfect bad money, thanks to Grisham law. So bad money drives out good money, and we may anticipate that the perfectly bad money of data will drive out the good official money as far as possible. If good money, which is the source of your power, okay, you are the controller of the sources and of the destination of money, if that money is shifted away, it's replaced by data, are you still the lord of the data? Are you still the lord of the figures? That's my question. Be prepared to redesign our process, our internal control process, our transaction processes according to a different architecture. Blockchains are the new architecture of distributed organization, and you need to get ready to rewrite everything, every piece of software, every piece of procedure, every piece of transaction. And this is coming in payment system, definitely. It is coming in identification system, in control system, in Internet of Things. We may expect that most of control processes, most of the decision on allocation on data can be progressively shifted from centralized technology to decentralized technology to distributed technologies. Yes. And blockchains, which are the underlying architecture of this innovation, will support a stack of different initiatives. First, and you can see it, currency, so system of payment. Then what we call packet services, so identity, ownership, membership, voting system, permissions. Then smart contracts, basically replacing your legal advisor, your chief legal officer, through wages, bounties, escrow, performance proofs. Finally, towards decentralized autonomous organization. That means organizations that do not need external control because they have embedded mechanisms to control in a distributed way. Therefore, the chief officer of finance loses its centrality, its central role. Because if we are a decentralized system of control, why do we need a centralized control? Okay. We are losing the monopoly of certification, and we're losing the monopoly of sanction through this. Blockchains are the decentralization of control and the decentralization of sanctions. You being the monopolist of both in an organization, you will be challenging the same problem as Mr. Mario Draghi, Super Mario, okay? Who is the final last, the Highlander of monopoly, the final owner of the right to establish interest rate or money supply, right? Regulation is no longer a monopoly of institution. Therefore, control is no longer a monopoly of CFOs. Standard de facto are the new regulation, are the new law. And by standard de facto, we mean a standard accepted by the majority of the member of organization, whether it's a supply chain or your internal organization, your supplier. The constituency is your supply chain, your market. If they decide that that's a standard, that standard de facto becomes the monopolist. And the formal power you need is not the nomination by the lord or the owner. It is the critical mass of acceptance. That's a new lord. That's what gives you power. Blockchain is a world ruled by mathematics. A dream, maybe a nightmare, depending on which side you are on. For me, it's an interesting perspective. For efficiency, for sure. It's a way in which decentralized database, it's basically transparent and distributed. And therefore, anyone can change it, send money, send contracts, send effects to anybody else. Blockchains are your dream of controlling everything in a huge ledger, okay? It's an open ledger. It's a ledger that everybody can write and everybody can read, so you lose the monopoly to be able to write the final version of the ledger because that power is distributed. It's no longer yours. You don't sign the balance sheet as the ultimate, control person. Of course you will. Don't get it personal again. But your role is being eroded by the research in organizational sciences and by the substitution in terms of software. The blockchain is distributed consensus, not centralized authority. The blockchain, everybody can read, but it's difficult to copy, it's difficult to crack, it's impossible to rewrite. The other fundamental elements that you'll be working on is fraud prevention. And fraud prevention, again, is not a matter of walls, a matter of protection. It's a matter of distribution. The wider the distribution of control system, the more difficult it will be to crack any fundamental contract in an organization. Just to conclude, the blockchain fundamental concept are all referring to your fundamental skills, okay? Consensus building, services, contracts, trust, and proof of work and proof of stake. I don't have time today to enter into details, but the logic of blockchains, the logic of distributed ledgers written by a majority of participants really attacks the core of the skill of a financial financial advisory, financial management, financial decision. And indeed, the second step is smart contracts. If we decentralize control, then signing contracts and enforcing them, executing them, checking whether or not there are the financial resources is no longer an arbitrary decision of a human. It is an embedded feature of software. It's very efficient, I tell you. It is very fast. It is not open to controversies because it has an embedded system of resolving possible problems. So it's really fascinating the way we can redesign the methodology of writing contracts, enforcing them, giving, for instance, decision to pay or not to pay are no longer, an arbitrary decision by the CFO. Let me conclude saying that you probably you have to probably open your mind and hire new collaborator. Your new colleague will be a hacker, okay? A hacker will be probably your best advisors for the future because the idea is that the CFO must be in charge of testing the robustness of blockchains. Is his own or her own skills will be designing an architecture and being responsible of its solidity and robustness. That's if you like, the new job which will be delegated to human. Checking transaction is gone, like payment system. Don't stick to that job, okay? We will fire you very soon. We need you to step a step higher. Also because if you think this is something in the future, you better double check what is happening in the past few months. This is the volume of hash rate, so the number of calculation on blockchains happening in the world. Till last year, it was negligible. This year has been exploding by trillions. So we don't know where it's heading, but it's getting a serious stuff. Don't consider this as a pure theory. It has been theory so far. Today is reality. Also because, let me remind you, that billions of dollars are being invested in this technology. And I always follow the money. And I hope you typically do the same, okay? I follow the money. When you pour billions in research, something is going to happen. Let me conclude saying, and this is a quote, a very Italian quote, okay? A very final remark, okay? When I see your faces, you remind me of San Matthew, which is, by the way, the protector saint of your job, as you probably remember. St. Matthew was discovered by this guy here on your right here, while was doing the accounting of the day. Why he was counting the money to be paid to Caesar. Okay, what I'm asking you to do is just the same. When the market, when the innovators, when the revolutionary, when the prophets enter your room, stop counting Caesar's money and follow them. Thank you very much.